I'm so happy for this invitation. I just joined Planet 3 months ago, and I really wanted to talk about, sorry, this is my first slide. I wanted to talk about the adventure of, making a decision, how important it is for our career. But first, let me introduce what I do here at Planet. As I say, I joined the company 3 months ago. I'm this salesperson for Mexico, Central America, Ecuador, and the Caribbean. I've been in the business for more than 20 years, and I am so honored to be part of the Planet team. I'm so happy and so proud of working for a company that is offering solutions that are critical to mitigate some of the main challenges that we are facing right now, like climate change, food crisis, fighting poverty, so many applications, and I feel so proud to talk about our business when I go out there and meet my clients and resellers. So I chose a topic because this is something that I've been always thinking about it, and now I have the opportunity to talk about it, and I'm gonna take advantage of this, is how I ended up here. So I'm gonna share you my story. Everything started back in the 80s. I had all the dreams, like I wanted to be, I wanted to be a fashion designer, because that's something that I really enjoy since I was a little girl. And I took, but then it was difficult for me because fashion was a very expensive career in Venezuela. And I had a scholarship and I moved to Seattle from Venezuela to study sales and advertising. I had no choice. So let me tell you that that was the first time I didn't make any decision. I had to choose what was available for me that time. So I remember my sales teacher, Mr. Fine, it's impossible to forget him, that he was always saying that as a good salesperson is capable of selling anything, selling water to a fish. So I was growing that idea up on my mind, but I was thinking, I don't know if I'm really right for this career. Sales is like, I don't know. However, I was always thinking, like when I was a little girl, I was drawing paper dolls and I was selling those to my friends at school. I was making bracelets with the colorful telephone wires and I was selling those. So I was a salesperson already. So, but I went back to Venezuela and I was, okay, I graduated, but I was still thinking, I don't know, I want to do, this is my passion. I want to be a fashion designer. And it took me 4 years to graduate. It was the beginning of this career in Venezuela, and it was a lot of work. It was very expensive. There were nights that I couldn't sleep doing all the drawings, the designs, and making all these dresses. This yellow one and the one along here, those I made them. And I was so inspired then, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. But then something funny happened during this practice, is that every time my friends called me and asked me for a dress, because they chose the fabrics, I had my atelier, they chose what they liked, and I made the dresses. Then when they came home to pick them up, I didn't want to sell them. I was like, no, I keep it. So I decided that's not for me. So it took me a while and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do? So we all go through this, I need to make a decision. I need to plan because I had a strong pressure from society in my country. And I made a decision. I thought it was time for me to, to have a family. And that was a decision that really, I thought about it a lot because I know what it meant for me at that time, that I had to give up some things that were important for some time. But those changes, I always ask myself, was I sacrificing passion to adapt to a new reality? because I had that question on my mind. And the answer is definitely no. I was just growing up, and it was time for me to make that decision and get prepared and be responsible for the decision that I had made. So, oh, sorry. So in 1995, it was a huge revolution in Venezuela because that's when internet arrived to our country. But it was the time also when my boy was born. He's 25 right now. And I remember I was taking care of my son, and I was hearing all this noise outside. My husband and his friends talking about internet. Let's go, let's navigate, let's check. They were looking for some topics, and they were celebrating. And I was, I was feeding my baby, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I think I'm losing something. Something is happening here. And I don't know, I don't want to sound selfish, but I had that on my mind, So what am I going to do? It's technology, but I don't know if I can even think about that. Would I ever touch a computer again? So I had all these questions at that time. After years, things turned to be kind of difficult in my country. And I had to go, I had to live outside, definitely my atelier. And I had to go outside and find a different job, something, because I needed to bring money because I had a family, and things were difficult. But I was ready to get back on track, but I wasn't ready for the technology. I had missed 1 year of all these changes. So selling was becoming more challenging. New terminologies, services, a new way of communication skills. So the first job I got out there was for selling ads for a magazine called Computer World. So names like Microsoft, Sun Microsystems, IBM, HP, and those that were never familiar to me started to be new, and that was nice. I was into a complete different world. So this job was the one that allowed me to meet the people that helped me, that guided me, that inspired me to be in this field. And to be honest, selling was never so, had never been so much gratifying for me. 5 years later, I had to make a very difficult decision. That, by the way, this week when I was practicing this presentation, I found out how your country, your family, your culture really touched you. And I was like, I didn't realize before, it's like I was keeping that into myself. That it was a big decision. It wasn't something that I was prepared for. But that was the time where the political situation in my country was unsustainable. It started to be unsustainable, now it's even worse. And I had a job offer in Mexico, and I didn't think twice. I moved here. And as you can see the picture, I think that was my first week here in Mexico. And you can see all the disaster. And remember, I was asking if I would ever touch a computer again. Well, here is a computer, but I was only able to touch it because it was impossible to carry, so heavy. Everything has been changing, as we know. That's funny. So that's when I started. It was like, for me, that was my own revolution, geospatial, learning all new terminologies. It was such an exciting world. I was working with geographers, engineers, and so many people that I met in the industry. I really was in love with this new market. I was like, wow. And I'm very proud because I participated in the first ground station sale to the Mexican government. And I had all these questions, from people. What is that you do? Are you a spy? What is it? And that was very funny. But every time I had more challenges, it was the time for me to learn more. And that's really, that was very interesting, and I don't regret. I've been doing this for more than 20 years now. I still live in Mexico. I've met such interesting people, nice people, been in this environment, this world, and I feel the pride to sell something that I know that is gonna go there to help people, to make people make good decisions. And this is something I feel so proud about. And I'm here. This is what I do now. This special work got me. I've been doing this for, as I said, for more than 20 years. I've been in the drones industry as well. I learned how to fly a drone. I was so proud about it. This picture here in the mining, it was something very scary because that was in Peru, and I had to sleep there. So many nice adventures. I am so happy that I decided to stay here. I don't think that I changed from fashion designing to the geospatial world. I can always be creative, and I use the fashion designing for myself. So I like clothes. I like that. That's inevitable. I can't leave that behind. But this is, the right decisions brought me here. No regrets. How I did it. I don't know. As you see, sometimes we need to do what we need to do. I've been humble. I know that I'm not an expert. I've been learning, and I always learn. It's very challenging, this world. I've been relying on those experts that are willing to teach me, and I take that very seriously. I understood that there are many interesting ways to explore different options. I learned that we have to capitalize the knowledge, because after you invest so much time in learning about something, changing, well, probably it's not such a good idea. Well, I don't want to discourage the people that are doing this, but for me, I said, no, this is what I've learned. It took me a long time. I want to be here. I wanted to be the desire to be part of the change that's something that really pushed me as well. So that keeps me investigating and asking. So I'm curious about the technology, and especially about the things that I do. As every time I made the decision, of course, I had to ask myself how it was going to benefit or affect my loved ones. And understanding that it's not always about me, that I have to care for my family, the company that I work for, is a world outside. I have faith in people. Trust me, I believe in people. I think we are a big team. And I have a real engagement for the environment. And I don't know, I take care of my garden, my little dog, and I really care about that. And well, that's it. Thank you. I don't know I think we don't have time for questions. Thank you for listening.
We could all be stars. I said that tonight. We could all be stars. I said that tonight. We could all be stars. I said that tonight. We could all be stars.